Hello everyone, this is Eugene Blind and this is my EU4 historical guide about Brandenburg. I think when players start their campaign in 1444 starting date, they may have one question. What's wrong with Central Europe? There is no united Germany as it used to be for us today. But instead there are a lot of small countries and it seems strange a bit. That's why I tried in this guide to give you some brief short history about one of these countries, one of the most popular countries among EU4 players as for me. And I hope it will help you to understand the political and even geographical situation in Europe in these times. So to start, I would like to start from the fall of the Western Roman Empire. After this event on the territory of Western and Central Europe, a lot of barbarian kingdoms began to appear. One of the most strongest among them was the Frankish kingdom. By the end of the 8th century, Frankish kingdom was able to unite most of today's France. They conquered the north of Spain, as I already told you in my Aragon historical guide, north Italy, today's Netherlands, all the West Germany. So they managed to conquer quite huge territory. But in 843, the grandchildren of Karl the Great, one of the most famous Frankish kings, divided this kingdom into three parts. So that was the West Frankish kingdom, France and north of Spain, Middle Kingdom, Italy, Netherlands and the central areas, and the East Frankish Kingdom, most of the today's West Germany. So, and from now on we can speak about the area of Brandenburg, but in those times it was called the North Mark. So it was a border territory between the East Frankish Kingdom and the Slavic tribes. So, and as you may guess, that's why it was an area of constant conflicts. So the German nobles and German rulers try to conquer this land, but they are not really succeed in it. In 928, the first so-called colonization or expansion wave was started by Henry I, the Holy Roman Emperor, but it lasted for nearly 200 years, but there was no real success. So yes, for some periods German rulers were able to control this area, but after this Slavic tribes reconquered this land, so it was some period of wars, battles and sieges and so on. But in the 1157, the German noble Albrecht the Beer was managed to capture the Brandenburg fortress and was able to stay there and to unite the most of the Brandenburg, which we can see here. So, and for the next nearly 200 years, his dynasty ruled over the North Mark, but it was already known as Brandenburg Mark. During this period, rulers of Brandenburg managed to conquer new lands from most all of their neighbors in the south, Pomerania in the north. So it was quite a good period of time for this country. But in 1320, the last ruler of this dynasty has died without children, without sons, and the period of internal conflicts, wars, and other troubles has started. It lasted for nearly 100 years. During this period, all this territory was in ruins. A lot of nobles, families, famous families and dynasties tried to manage the Brandenburg, such as Bavarian dukes, Bohemian ones, but no one was really interested in this land. And maybe that's why in 1450 the Holy Roman Emperor Sigismund gave the Brandenburg mark to Friedrich VI from Nuremberg. As you may guess, his surname was Hohenzoller. So it was the father of the ruler with whom Brandenburg starts the campaign in EU4. So his father was known after he was granted this title as Friedrich I from Brandenburg, and in 1457 his son Friedrich II takes the crown, this title, and so that's why if we start our campaign, we'll begin this ruler. So honestly, that's all what I can say about the history of Brandenburg. It's not so maybe not so large as it was for Muscovy or for Aragon, but most of this history, as far as I know for now, it's about internal conflicts between the German nobles and Slavic nobles, or among one of the sides. So the most interesting period of history of Brandenburg will be when it will be managed to unite with the Kingdom of Prussia. But I think it will be a nice topic for the future my future guides. That's why I think it's all I would like to tell you. Thank you for your attention. I hope it was interesting for you and you will have now a bit more information about the situation in Central Europe in 1444. So, thank you, goodbye, hope to see you soon.